Okay, as you can see, you're looking at my notations page. Notations for bedroom furniture. I've gone through and I've built 8 pieces of test pieces. Some of them are getting their first test, and others are getting their second test. I think the only one in this group that got its second test was the Craftsman chair, and I am pleased to report that everything went fine. So what I do is, as I'm working and putting together a piece, this pad of paper is off to the side with this pen, and I sit down and I write down, okay, I goofed up. I accidentally made 2 right side pieces. So that was kind of a goof, so I need to fix that. I need to change a tab. I think I need to do more work on the inside of this. And some of it's kind of written in shorthand. Like, I've started calling the V's between the tabs. I just started calling them the V's. The V's need to be wider. The V's need to be, you can see here, for some things they need to be much wider, and others they need to be much smaller. And then I make a little. Now, the last time I did this, I had worked with copies, and I didn't do that this time because I just didn't want to be so wasteful, and I wanted to make sure I had enough money to make any further future copy kind of thing. I want that to go into the color. You know, the more money I have, the more color copies I can make and that sort of thing. So those are my notations. I'm going to move these over to the side. And then I want to show you what I built last night. This is the Un Salon Moderne piece that I have been itching to make. And it's working, but I have a lot of notations for it. I think the mirror needs to be smaller and moved over. So I'm going to be working on figuring out the circumference that I need for this, and then I'm going to move it over. I think it needs to come over more like about there. This little cabinet piece needs to move over. So I'm going to need to work out some of the math on that. These little cutouts worked beautifully. I am going to add a drop down and a back, meaning I'm going to add another piece that folds down and another piece that folds back. And then I need to take a look at how I want to do these back pieces, because I think I need to change some of the things here, because this needs a firmer back piece. But all in all, I think I made major league changes, and I think it worked out really well. Let's see, for other first times, this is my first completely from scratch piece, and as you can see, it's pretty, like, the bunk beds are pretty crunchy. I have a lot of notations for this. I need to increase the head and foot boards. These are completely the wrong scale. I need to move them up. For this piece, I took the pillows and notched them. And I mean, the pillow worked really well. The little pillow piece worked incredibly well. I'm going to make just one minor change to the back, add about a centimeter to this piece, which will make for a little easier folding. But all in all, I think it worked really well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this shorter so it all fits between these two. I have another couple of ideas, and I'll kind of figure it out as I go along. I'm not sure if I want to keep these little bump bits on the rails or not, because all of this is going to have to increase about 0.5 centimeter. These headpieces are going to go up. I totally spaced it on the pillows. They need to come up to at least the pillow. So we're looking at maybe a full centimeter that these need to be beefed up. I'm going to take these out because I need to flip this around. Plus, I think I need to rethink how I'm doing the bottom piece for the mattress. Instead of having the bottom piece go down first, I think what I need to do is bring these tabs in and then put a bottom piece on it. So I need to do a little rethinking on a little bit of that. But I think for a first try, I think this is admirable. I also need to figure out these top bits. I would really like to make them smaller, these 4 posts, but I don't think I can make them smaller. However, I need to also acknowledge that, because part of the folding is a little difficult. This is a really super heavyweight paper, and that may be part of the problem that I'm having, because you can see, like, this one's not too bad, but then these two are kind of really off. So I need to do a little bit more thinking about that one. Then this was the little golden book, yeah, cradle. And I think it turned out okay. I don't like how high this is, so I'm going to take this and take it down. This cradle part, I'm going to take it down quite a bit, so it's a little lower to the ground. Plus, I want to add some more decorations to the inside, and I might add, I don't know, there's some other things I would like to add. Some of my measurements are off, and I need to address that. But it works pretty well. I also learned that for these sorts of pieces, I just very slightly put more of a flat bit right here, so it'll rock, but it'll always come back to where it's supposed to go. So I like that. So I think it also needs to be smaller. Then this is the little dolly bed, and I made it pretty large. I have some changes that I need to make to this one. I can eliminate some of the decorations underneath here, so I think that's a pretty easy one. This, of course, would get a bottom in it, so I think I need to make 2 of these, like, with it, and then add a bottom. I think it would be kind of cute to add like a little blanket, or like the little quilt on one of the other beds. I think that would look really cute. So this is a win. This is a Hans Christian Madsen piece. I did not make any changes to this piece, with the exception of I printed out 2 sides and then added this for a little extra sturdiness. And I like all of these bits in here, the wiggly bits. I love it. It's perfectly balanced. I don't have to, like, mess with it. And in my notations, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to, on the other side, I'm going to have to add pieces of, like, because I want this in wood. In the original, it's in wood, and I really like that. So I think I'm going to have to kind of figure out a couple of things. Some of the tabs I would like to be a little bigger. That's just my own personal preference for something that is going to be viewed more as artwork than a plaything. But it's balanced well. I didn't even trim the bottoms. I'm like super impressed. His work is always chef's kiss. Very rarely have to alter anything. And when I do alter something, it's because I have a preference. This is the little table, which I think turned out uber stupid cute. I did do gray board for the top, so we don't have any warping. And like any table, I think I'm going to put I will put a piece in here that kind of hides the tabs, and then I would add some structural things in here to help out with it being moved around. And with the table comes the little chairs. Now, I did this one first and this one second. And you can see we've got some weird stuff. Yeah, I decided that I needed to add this frontispiece here. And I didn't trim this out because this one was already all put together. Everything else about this I really, really like, except for I think it really does need a frontispiece, a regular front piece. And I would do it the same way that I would do the table. Drop in a bottom, put some stabilizers in it. I did a second one in which you can tell I eliminated this little bit of scroll here. And I think that's what I'm going to do in the final. This piece needs to be measured a little bit better, because you can see I just kind of cut and pasted it in. but I think it will work. It gives some stability to the chair. I want to figure out how to add this little area right here. I want to cut this out, and I need to figure out how I'm going to do it. Because whenever you have something on the front and the back, and what I did was this front piece was designed first. I copy and pasted it, and then I flipped it. So that means when I put these together, they should fit, and they fit pretty well. One thing I do kind of like about using this the different colors, I can really glaringly see where things are working and not working. But I consider these were Virginia Hamel designed. They were drawn by another artist. The shapes of the chairs and how everything fits together, I've altered it quite a bit. I mean, I've altered it quite a bit. Because I don't even think it has the same scroll work stuff at the top. So the last piece that I made is the Craftsman desk chair. And this one, yeah, once every like 8 pieces, one piece will be like out of the ballpark. I nailed everything I wanted to change. This back piece wasn't there. I added in the back piece, did the same thing that I just told you. I did a copy paste and then flipped it so they'll fit together right. And it fit together damn near perfectly because I waited until this was glued together, then put it down and then cut it out. This works like a charm. I love that. I have a few little things here that I need to figure out. This little piece here tabs nicely in here. The chair itself is way more stable than the original. I think part of this is it's also kind of doubled up right here, but it's this piece right here. I need to add another line right here to make that work. And I hope that when I'm working with the paper that I print the color copies on, this little bump is going to go away because it's not like 5 pieces of paper all wadded up together. Because I'm dealing with like, I would have to say I need to take like a third, like half a millimeter, maybe a third of a millimeter out of this. And I think that'll be gone when I go on to the next one. So I'm really happy with this one. This is a lovely chair. And let me see, reaching back here into my, because I've got like a box that I keep all of the that was the original one that I just did. And you can see this is way flimsier. There was no front or back piece to help stabilize the chair. And this just didn't exist. And I didn't like that. So, and this is pretty much, because this is just all like angles, straight lines and angles. This Mary Frances stuff, it's like kids must have been so disappointed in making these pieces because it's just like, yuck, it's not good. I mean, stability wise, it's like you'd have to like daintily play with, you've seen kids play with toys. I mean, I don't think this is going to survive a 3-year-old, that's for sure. But, an 8-year-old who likes to take care of their stuff, yeah, maybe. So, this is where I am today. I'm going to push these all. I showed you everything. And then last night, I spent the last hour or so before I was ready for dinner, gluing everything up. Now you'll notice this is white paper because my husband surprised me. He ordered a ream of heavyweight paper for me, so I can work with these pieces on something white instead. And it's white paper, so I can use it for all kinds of different stuff. So this is like a 110. It's not quite as heavy as the stuff that I'll be using at Union Printing, but this is more than good, more than excellent for working on these pieces. And what I did was I glued them down. Now, initially, I had been using a watered down tacky glue. I decided not to do that. And you can see here, you get like you can kind of see a gleam where the glue is, I used the glue jig and I traced around them, and then it's kind of like squeegeed them on. It was reminding me working with the jig, like when I would do screen printing way back in the day. I put the glue on and then I wipe it on and stick these things down. And you can see that the gluing of them, I went over them with a bone folder and burnished everything down, of course with a piece of paper in between so I don't mess up any of the art. But I've got lots to cut out today and lots to work on. Beds, the Monnier bed, which I only printed out the one, and you can see this is where the bump rail came from, or that I just kind of borrowed. The one that I created for this piece is now going to be used, and you can see the feet in this are going to be way different, so that's going to be fun. Let's see, this is the trunk I was talking about, the bigger one with the bottom, and this is going to go on top. So yeah, I've got lots of super fun stuff to work on today. I'm very excited about the bureaus, and I think that's what I want to start on today. So I'm going to cut this short, and I'm going to go on to my work day and taking more notes. And I will see you all. Thank you, patrons. All 7 of you. All 7 of you that that throw a bit of cash at me. Thank you extremely much. You're helping me pay for copies. And I will see you all in the next video.